Hey guys! Welcome back to Let's Play Star Ocean 2. Last time, we took care of the bosses here with a small amount of difficulty. One thing I did forget to mention about them is if all your characters get sucked up by those bosses, you'll get game over.
They look pretty tough.
Just so you're kind of aware of that. Now, I tried starting to talk about, but I didn't really go into a whole lot of detail. Once we get another fighting character, I'll be able to take Celine out of the party, and I'll have Celine's replacement and Claude basically doing all the heavy lifting, and I can spend a little bit of time in each dungeon building up Healing Star with Opera, kind of like I was just doing there. And that's an effective strategy of trying to build up such a powerful skill, such as Healing Star, because it will take a long time if you try and sit there and just spam it up really quick. I may do a little bit of that, but I will be kind of doing it slowly over the course of the game. Now, I'm going to go through the rest of this area and we're going to pick up all of the treasure that's in here. And I can't remember which battles we showed off last time, so we'll show off a few more. And hopefully... yeah, Black Saber can hit 2 enemies. That's the only thing it has on energy arrow there. But it's still not all that deadly at this point. So, we'll go over here, and this will be a dead end. I believe this is one of the ones that's actually the Clarissage, or whatever the hell that thing's called. A lot of them turn into lavender and Artemis leaf and all these other different herbs if you already have the either the dill whip or the other one. But anyway, so we got the herb there. Let's grab the treasure chest. If you're coming in here with Pressus in your party, you probably want to pick this one up ahead of time. See, let's go into our menu here. Straight punch there. Triangle? No, square. There you go. So it's got 400 attack power. It's a much better weapon for Pressus if you happen to have her. So, like I said, pick that up. I would do it before the boss fight, but a lot of repeat battles at this point. Even though I don't remember which ones were there before, I know a few of them. If you remember, this is the one we picked up in mistake last time, which is why I saved before it, and it just turns into a random lavender. Stop getting stuck on things. Okay, let's head over here now, and we'll pick up this herb on the way by. You don't have to come and get any of these herbs after you've gotten the one you've come in to get. Alright, and here we get poison check. Not like I haven't seen 1,000 of those. So that's all kind of inclusive. This is where we went down the stairs at the start of the episode there. So we've done everything on that part of the area. It's kind of separated into 2 screens there. Well, not really 2 screens, but 2 generalized areas that you can kind of explore. All the paths we've seen before lead all into that one area. And then on this part of the screen, or this part of the area, we'll be on one of, I think, about 3 main parts of the area. 3 main kind of screens with a whole bunch of directions away from it and stuff like that. Do note that the enemies in here give a lot of experience, so you're likely to gain quite a few levels while you're in here. And yeah, so you'll gain a whole bunch of levels in here, especially because the battles give lots of experience and because they're so bloody common. Alright, so down here is a treasure. Rainbow diamond, nice. As well as another herb there. And let's see, so down this path, and we can head off to the side here. Hopefully I'm not being too confusing as we go. Another herb. And head down. And we get treasure chest here. I would recommend using one of the characters that you've got most recently, depending on what you've done. You may want to use, say, Opera, if she's the most recent one that you've got. Ashton and Pressus would also work. I would just recommend using whichever one is kind of the lowest level and that kind of thing. Okay, so we'll backtrack up here. It's a good spot to both develop them as characters by building up specific killer moves. In my case, I've been working on Alphon 1 pretty much every battle. I'll have time to work on Healing Star before too long anyway. as well as just kind of get your lower level characters kind of up to snuff. since a lot of the characters we pick up will be at lower levels than the rest of our party. Okay, so now we want to head all the way down here, get the herb, take this path, go to the right. This area seems a lot more confusing than it will tend to be once you've been in here once or twice. So let's grab this might chain. That's actually pretty good. So let's take a look. Let's find a... Why do I not have the berserk ring on you? Oh well. Guess I should probably put that back on. Berserk ring for you. And I'm going to keep you on MP having equipment just because I want to get more uses of your techs off. But the might chain here, just so we can get an idea of what it is, increases your attack by a certain percentage. I can't remember how much it is, but you can see there, you know, 100 and almost 100 points at this stage. It'll do more as time goes by. It is a percentage, so it's a useful accessory once we get another fighter to make use of it. Okay, grab some more herbs that we don't really need. That's all for compounding, by the way, all the herbs. They don't really matter. Alright, that should be most of the treasure around here, and if you'll notice here, this is back to the entrance, but we do want to duck down here. Okay, this should be the last one. A simple ruby. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That should be everything. I'm just going to take one quick look down this direction, since the map doesn't have absolutely everything on it for some reason. And so up here should just be a dead end. Perfect. Exactly what it should have been based on the map. Alright, so that should be pretty much everything, and I should meet you back in town. Okay. Now, I've always loved the theme for this town, but one thing of note, I was talking to this guy off screen here. Eccentric people in town. Pharmacist is always getting involved with people's problems, and the man and his daughter are always making strange things. If you remember back in Salva, we went upstairs at the inn. Someone mentioned something about an eccentric inventor in the town of Linguae. That's the same person they're talking about, same person this one's talking about. That would be Pressis and her strange father. Yeah, that just little foreshadowing they gave us. It's a famous university town. Speaking of which, we haven't really done anything in this town. We've been in the town, but that's about it. We haven't really talked to anybody. Best talk to the Professor Keith. Lives next to the Academy Co-op, which is the store here. But let's talk to a bunch of the professor people around here. Give us a little more background lore on the game. Of course, there'll be eccentric people there. That's not a job for amateurs. Go home. No. Species of monster has its own weakness, according to the professor. I suppose there are exceptions, though. I would guess that everything has a weakness or it doesn't have a weakness. I don't think it really matters what the other ones have. Never finished this paper in time. Makes sense. And, of course, say basically the same thing. Because this is University Library. A lot of shooting stars. Wonder if that has anything to do with anything. Helpful materials. Seems it's an important topic. And I believe... No, we can't go through there. Okay, never mind. There's actually two different buildings, which isn't really all that strange. It's just odd that you can't get kind of connected from one to the other since they're right next to each other. Professor's angry with you again. Probably because you've been cutting class. Yeah, there's a lot of these rooms. I don't think you can talk to most of the students, and I don't think the professors say much of anything of interest. You can pickpocket everybody in here if you really want to. I wouldn't worry too much about it. I haven't found anyone in here to offer anything enormously good. What do you know? Probably not all that much. But anyway. Lots of these areas in the university have doors that seem as though you could go through them, but they're blocked off. I doubt that he'll take on a translation from someone he's never met before. Talking about the professor. Professor Bowman. Oh, I thought he was just working at the that one store. Interesting. Always studying in room day and night. I would suspect that a lot of you are doing that. Either that or you're grading papers. Now, all of the people you can pickpocket around here don't really give you anything of value. The one that you would want to pickpocket from, if you have him, is Ashton. I think you get a plate mail from him. On Raina's path, you can pickpocket Claude for a fine shield, which I believe I already have. And I'm not sure where Raina will be if I do a private action. So I'm just going to see, because I would like to pickpocket from Raina. But I don't want to trigger any scenes with Pressus on this path. So let's see if I can get Raina to spawn in a more helpful place. It is the Town of Learning. At least she knows what it is. It's not a radio-controlled car, it is a robot. Now, Raina will either be down here. Oh, there's a private action here? Oh, no. Nothing. Now, let's hope I can get lucky. Of course not. One sec. And there we go. The high lace shoes. It's the second pair we can get. Good for another mage when we're able to get it. Now that we've done that, I'm going to try and avoid going up there, so I don't think there's any more private actions I can actually do around here. I can't remember where Celine is. I think she's up in this direction, and I don't know if the Pressus cutscene will trigger if I go up there, so we're not going to do any more private actions today. But anyway, give me a second to figure out which exactly I should work on next, because I wasn't planning on getting this far when I started recording this episode, so... Okay, so I figured things out. There isn't really anything else I can do except move on with the plot. So that's exactly what we're going to do. I didn't really want to because I knew I didn't have enough time to go through the whole thing, but we'll go through part of it today. Sure, why not? Once you've got back with the rare herb, if they've told you it's a rare herb that you can come back, then you'll get some dialogue from Bowman. Is it good enough? Sure. How far did you go? All the way? Yeah, we did it. Woot. If it's really that incredible, then why did you assume that we'd be able to do it in the first place? And why is it a requirement to get the linguist to take a look at these ancient drawings or ancient writings or whatever the hell they are? You discovered a completely new species. Yeah, if you get the other one, he says it's a very rare species that he's found before, but it still works all the same. The quest goes exactly the same way. But getting this one just gets a little extra dialogue, makes Bowman a little more exciting. Okay. Just curious. So now let's go down and we can actually talk to Keith, who's in this house, the professor dude. Says he's busy and we end up getting thrown out. If you try and go in there after the first time, you literally get thrown out. He pushes you back, you fall out of the house there, and that's it. That's real professional. Yeah, basically, he just yells at the door. Oh, maybe he's on the can, buddy. Jeez. Give the guy some privacy, why don't you? Yes, he is a professor. Or maybe he's not. People call him a professor, but I don't think he wants to be one, or he doesn't think he's one, or something like that. Or maybe he used to be one. They haven't really explained yet. Please come in. Well, looks like we actually got in the house. That's a good start. You can talk to them. Not exactly. In fact, let's take a look. Student, or military you know, cadet. Lives in a small village. Is a magician. Don't know what the hell you do. It's never even been explained what Opera is as far as her career goes, or what she's actually doing, why she equips a gun. Now let's talk about this for a quick sec. Doesn't show her weapon, and if you go into the menu and you look at it, it says Special Energy Pack for the Kaleidoscope Ray Gun. It's a big laser cannon rifle thing. But I guess the only upgrade she gets for it are discs that make different damage come out, or different types of attacks. It seems really weird. I get the feeling that this was some kind of censorship instead of, you know, just giving her different guns. But anyway, whatever. Seems weird. Let's go up here and talk to Keith. Now, do note that they do not let you talk to him by moving around, which means you can't pickpocket him yet. And you're going to want to do that. He does have a somewhat important item that we'll be able to buy at the start of disc 2, and it's not that far off, but I'd still like to get it now. Saves me 40 grand anyway, because it's a very expensive item. Told my assistants to keep people out of my hair. Sounds about right. Spare me your bruised egos. Yeah, pretty much. It's like, he doesn't even know you. Don't worry about it, right? We were hoping you could decipher some ancient writings found in Cross Cave. We found them, but we can't read them. So basically, he's doing boring work. He's like, no, give me those. I want to do that instead. Would have been nice if we didn't have to go through an additional quest. But I guess we did gain a whole bunch of levels. I think we got like 4 levels for everybody in that dungeon. Maybe 5 for Opera since she was a little lower level. But yeah, that's crazy. Is it now? The one thing I don't think I know is if when we come back later, he doesn't, they'll say it in a second here, but he won't be able to decode it all right away. I don't think they ever explain, like I never came back to find out, but I don't think they ever mention if he actually does decipher them, or what they say, or if it's important, or it may take some time, of course. But yeah, a plotline never suggests that we come back here at any point to figure it out, so. Rare occasion. Keith thanked me, and he's all full of himself for it, and everybody laughs, because why not? Okay, so we're in Bowman's house. And this is the point where I'm going to put up the graphic for all the stuff we can pickpocket in the town. Likely the one that I found on the guides that I've been using for everything except for the town of Liqueur is not going to include all the items you can actually pickpocket in this one. And that may be the case for some of the other towns as well. I'm basically pulling it right out of a guide, which is why I've been giving the guy credit every time I've pulled them out. The thing is, when you come here, no matter whose path you're on, whoever your characters are, move out of the way, please. Move out of the way, thank you. All your characters that are sitting here will be able to, they will have a unique item. Even if you pickpocket them earlier on, they will have another item that you can pickpocket at only this point in time. It's one of the reasons why I made sure that I had the Magician's Hand, as well as maxing out both Poker Face and Courage, so I have a higher chance of getting them, because they're all more powerful weapons for the characters that are here. Now, it's likely that I'm not going to be able to get them all. There's also another item from you. Let's see. We've got the Xbox, that's good. And Metal Fangs, also good. You know what? That's not a big deal, because beyond this point, I'm not really using her all that much. You know what? I'm going to take that. Can I get yours? The magical hat. It's not the greatest in the world. I was thinking I was going to have to do all that off screen. I can't remember I think it's a ruby wand that you get for Celine, but either way, the items that we get are much more powerful than the ones we will normally be able to have access to at this point in the game. So let's see, Xbox, it's I think it's 100 more, or maybe this one's only 10 more. I can't remember. Either way, it's still very powerful at this point in the game. The Metal Fangs are 400 when I think Reina normally has something that gives her, I think it's what, 150 or 140 or something like that. And the Magical Hat is slightly better than anything else we can get at this point. But anyway, I happened to get lucky. I was going to do it off screen to make my life a little easier, but I'm not too worried about the one that we get from Celine there, since beyond this point we'll probably be kicking her out of the party, at least for a little while. But yeah, that's pretty much all the time we have for today. Next time we'll talk to our characters and then go talk to Bowman and continue the cutscene. That's all for this one, and I'll see you guys next time.